just because that there was that Zeta-Lot build that was
Zeta-Lot,
pretty
yeah.
popular for the last week or so.
Well, Zeta got to
And,
number 2 in NA, so it's
yeah.
definitely proved that it's really, really good. Okay,
Was
so
it?
it looks like
I thought it was EU.
oh
But,
EU, sorry, it was EU.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Looks like Kolento is going with the Miracle Rogue, and
Yeah.
it's an okay draw. He's
And
going
you know,
first, which is not what you typically want. That's not ideal for Miracle Rogue.
and even though it's a hard matchup for him,
It's a good draw.
I mean that makes sense. You go with what's familiar,
Yeah.
and just a better chance to sweep a series here than if he forces Miracle Rogue to sweep.
Yeah, he does draw a backstab, which can be that initiator that he needs for a lot of the rogue cards. So definitely something you need when you go first too. Just one of those 0 mana cards to get things going for you.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like Ek0p. He's drawn a Molten Giant, but didn't get any of those. Hasn't gotten any of those kind of magical 4 mana cards. I mean, just that kind of 4 mana play where it's the Twilight Drakes or the Mountain Giants quite yet. But he does have a Watcher, something he can throw out there, maybe get it taunted on turn 2 and 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, if Ek0p doesn't draw a Drake or a Giant, I would actually kind of expect him to throw down the Watcher. Maybe not this turn, but next turn. Again, it doesn't interfere with his turn 4 Giant, and I mean, he actually has the opportunity to start getting aggressive if he draws an Owl.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times getting aggressive is the way to go against Miracle. When you have the choice at playing Handlock, getting that Ancient Watcher down, especially with the Owl, forcing the Rogue to have to deal with the 4/5 unit immediately, burning those Eviscerates, really getting his card draw down. And if he doesn't draw Gadgets in, you can actually put him in a pretty rough situation.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if he just decides to coin out that Drake or not.
Yeah, so
looks like he's thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to actually be sticking to one perspective here, I think, in a second. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, we're still showing both perspectives. But okay, so Kolento is going to be going. Well, he's thinking about playing the Oracle here for some draw. Doesn't really have a great, an obvious draw, obvious play here. But he's going to go with okay, so backstab Eviscerate and then swing into it. Okay, no, that is definitely a good play. Takes 4
I like
damage.
that a lot better than Oracle.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Just because if he Oracles, then it gives Ek0p the ability to play a Mountain Giant for 3 next turn. And I mean, I guess like he could. I mean, I guess the 3 doesn't matter as much as just being able to play the Mountain Giant next turn.
Right.
So
yeah, the Oracle definitely has a. I mean, it always benefits your opponent, but particularly when you're playing a Handlock, the Handlock benefits a lot from the card draw here. And is he going to burn? He is going to burn a card next turn. All right. Is he? Wait, is he going to burn? Is it delayed a little bit there? I can't. Has Ek0p gotten the cards yet? Oh, there he is. Okay, so Ek0p's actually up to. Is it 10 cards? Yeah, he's up to 10 cards.
Yeah,
so
he's at 10 cards. He's going to burn one.
Okay, so Kolento's going to Shadow Step. And oh, yeah.
Oh,
man.
this is fun.
This is counter.
I get 2 cards,
man.
You get nothing.
Love it. Oh, man. Burns a Soulfire. Burns an Argus. Okay, so he doesn't burn any of the Giants, though. Actually, he has 3 of the Giants already, so it would have been pretty tough to burn it, but fun play at the very least. And looks like he's going to be burning the Sun Fairy Protector, too. So lots of the taunts have been burned. Quite, that's pretty good for him.
He's lost 2 of them, and he's lost one of the really good ones, which is the Sun Fury. Because obviously it's only 2 mana, so... Yeah, I mean,
plays, man.
To drop some cards, but...
Okay, so oh, there's the Giant. Is he going to sap it into another burn scenario?
He's going to have to get Ek0p another card before he can sap the Giant to kill it. Yeah. But he can sap it and burn another card from the top.
So actually, Ek0p avoids it. He double Mortal Coils there, so he's clear of even the sap, putting him at 10. Okay, so an Edwin draw is pretty interesting here. Ek0p does have the Siphon Soul, so it might not be an issue for him. But I think Kolento's going to think about. Well, he's going to try to. Is he going to try to remove this? I don't even know if he. Yeah, he can with the sap, and then he's going to put that Edwin down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so pretty good turn for him. Gets a 6/6 down and a 3/3 on the board, and really forces Ek0p to make a decision on that Ancient Watcher. I mean, he could Shadow Flame it, remove remove the 3/3 and damage the Edwin, or he could go with the Mountain Giant again, and Kolento is actually in position to remove it with just minions if he wants.
Yeah, I would expect to see either a Siphon or a Taunt here.
Wow, Ek0p's got all of his giants now.
He's actually got that Power Overwhelming. Okay, he does decide to go with just a Siphon. Kind of interesting. I might have actually done Power Overwhelming and Shadow Flame, just because you don't have that many taunts for your Watchers left. Like, you lost 2 of them. You do have one in your hand, which is great. But yeah, it's another way to make those Watchers useful. So.
Well, I think he's trying to save it. I think he's trying to save the at least the Shadow Flame play for when Gadgetzan comes out. You know, I think that's a yeah. Okay, so it looks like Kolento is just really trying to save up some spell power, like in his hand, so that he can, have that kind of miracle Gadgetzan turn. He can't really do much now. Like eviscerating the Ancient Watcher really does nothing for him at this point. So might as well just wait. Try to be as patient as possible.
Not even activated.
Yeah, exactly.
And in all likelihood, the Watcher, isn't super likely to get activated. Not anytime soon, anyways. Ek0p's gonna have to get maximum value out of his Taunters. I mean, we know that he does have a Sun Fury Protector in hand, but Kolento saw a Defender and a Sun Fury get burned, so that Watcher is really not that much of a threat for the moment.
Yeah, looking pretty rough for Kolento right now. He really needs some kind of cycling ability. He's not drawing even any cards that cycle right now, so it's one of those rough games where you run into just straight spells, and they don't really do much by themselves either.
You need to find a Gadgetzan, and sometimes you just don't find a Gadgetzan, so it's kind of the
have like a
only real big weakness of Miracle Rogue.
So he does have the Leroy and the Cold Blood, so he does have some kind of burst, but he has already used 1 Shadow Step. So definitely minimizes, or doesn't minimize, reduces the amount of damage that he could do in that kind of ideal Leroy combo. Where what you end up doing? 26 damage, I think, normally when you
20.
Just 20?
Leroy Power Overwhelming. Yeah, Leroy Power Overwhelming Faceless is only 20.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm talking about Leroy Shadow Step. Leroy Shadow Step. Yeah, Leroy.
That is 18. Yeah, 26 is the max there.
Okay, so he's going to go ahead and remove. He's going to sap one of the Mountain Giants and at least position the other Mountain Giant in a fashion that he can remove it next turn.
Yep. It's kind of confusing because both players have giant Leroy Jenkins bursts that are potentially possible. But I mean,
I think
Kolento's in really big trouble here.
Yeah, I it's funny because I think the Cold Oracle play, was really cute and really awesome that he burned 3 cards, but in the end, I think it's going to end up helping Ek0p. It's ended up helping Ek0p because he's ended up drawing all of his giants and
well, it might not have actually helped him, but it certainly didn't hurt him to do it. And Kolento, I mean, it's really rough now because Ek0p's got a handful of cards. Kolento's got basically no more removal and no card draw. So
yeah, he can even activate that Ancient Watcher too. Remove any kind of minion on the board that even helps with removing this board. And he's out of saps, so I think this is it. I don't know if he can get out of this situation right now.
Yeah, I mean,
this turn he can throw Leroy Jenkins into one of the giants. Just remove one. I think he can only remove 1 giant. Maybe he can remove the Ancient Watcher too if he wants with a
he can Leroy Cold Blood, kill the 8/8.
Yeah,
and then eviscerate the 4/1, and then technically he doesn't die next turn. But I mean, he loses every win condition he has that way.
Yeah, he does.
And,
the Miracle Rogue,
if the game isn't over, it's basically over at that point.
Miracle Rogue depends heavily on the Leroy combo, and if not the Leroy combo, it depends heavily on a Cold Blood situation. Where you have like a concealed a Gadgetzan or even a SI agent that has cold blood, that's been cold blooded and that sort of bit. So E-Cop takes the second game, goes up 2-0 against